Fuck. Hello, folks, and welcome to the first game of the Friend or Foe series Mythic League Week 2. I am your friendly neighborhood Shoutcaster Shargan, and I have got joining me on the caster desk.
I am RLS War Leader, and here we are, Week 2 of the Spring Mythic Tournament. Very excited to see these games go on, and I'm also very excited to see that Kaiso already has access to that Ahri that they've won twice on so far. One of Rice's most successful champions, but meanwhile Atlas locking in some comfort of their own in the Kindred.
Picking up that Kindred and Ahri, both some very, comfortable champs. They do provide a lot to their individual teams. Kindred has a lot of map roaming potential, although you do kind of have a general idea of where they're going to end up on the map, so it's going to be on Rice farmers to make sure they're locking down those hunts, making sure Kindred does not start getting too far ahead too quickly. Otherwise, it's just going to spell the end of the game for them very, very fast.
For sure, and we're going to see Echo is the next lock-in for RSL as their answer to the Ahri in mid lane. Meanwhile, a bit of a spicy one maybe coming out from Rice Farmers locking in that Pantheon. Would be excited to see such an aggressive bot lane if they were to lock that one in. Now, Rice Farmers have started this tournament with a 3-0 record. They have looked the strongest of all the Mythic teams. Meanwhile, Ragnarok is looking for their first win, so if you're going to make a push for that 1 and 2 seed going into the final games of the tournament, it has to start now, and Viego going to be the eventual lock for Rice Farmers.
Now, I got to ask you, it's like, just so you mentioned it on Pantheon, we will get back and I'll ask you about that later, but I got to ask you, how do you feel about RSL having almost the exact same team name as RLS?
I think it's really funny, but
I'm not going to lie. I've gotten very close to mixing y'all up.
I'm a little surprised that they took the S in esports instead of the E in esports, personally. But hey, if that's the way they want to roll with it, they're welcome to roll with it. We can share letters. It's fine with me. Thresh going to be locked in for Copper in that bot lane. Has looked good on Hook champions throughout the tournament. I mainly remember the Nautilus. So seeing that Thresh come out, probably well within their comfort zone.
I do like the basically anti-death synergy that they're going for on the side of RSL, just because I do like the Kindred and the Echo, with both of them being able to rewind time, one be able to stop death entirely, and then on Rice Farmers, they're building up a very, very aggressive team overall, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see what kind of front line they decide to pull out. The Jinx, I think, is really good for that late game scaling comp that Ragnarok is trying to put together. So they've already got that end game damage, and basically they're going to want to extend these fights as much as possible. Rice is really kind of, in my opinion, being put on the back foot here. Like they want to play aggressively, but there's a lot of early game damage that's going to be in that Echo, and that it's going to cause some potential disruption early game.
Yeah, what I'm seeing so far is actually the volatility of these two teams and the way that they can extend fights as soon as they get that first kill. Now, RSL's composition, as you mentioned, does have ways to deny that first reset from Viego and from Ahri, so maybe they can use that to extend the fight long enough, get a return kill on the Jinx, get her excited, and get rolling. I really like the Jinx as a takeaway, and being the beneficiary of that red 3-pick slot are going to be able to ban out 2 ADCs if they would like to, that counter the Jinx. Actually only going to take the one, just the Aphelios, away from LeBlanc, and looked very, very good on it in their game against SGR last week. So good takeaway from them, taking away the Gwen, also from Nightscale in that top lane, and Blitzcrank might be their answer to Thresh. It's a very famous skill matchup, but they're flicking between a few supports here as their options to go into that Thresh. To complement this Jinx over in the bot lane. The one they're sticking with right now is Seraphine, and they will lock that one in.
I do like that lock-in, as much as I have a despised hatred for the champion for stealing Sona's rework. Seraphine is very, very powerful in the bot lane as a support, just because the amount of damage she can deal as an enchanter, and that early game root is just so useful for setting up a lockdown, and against something like a Thresh or a Viego where they want to jump on top of your carries, it's really nice at being able to just deny that initial engage and allow your time to peel away. The Ashe coming out for LeBlanca good response to this Jinx. It's going to allow them to basically kind of slow everything down, try and get that crystal arrow across the map, allows for a great presence, and the vision control from Rice Farmers is something that they've been shown to use really effectively. And I like this Shen Hover as well, because again, it provides more global map pressure. And honestly, Rice is not a 3-0 team for nothing.
Oh, for sure. They have a lot of just skill throughout this tournament. I mean, they're definitely one of the teams that are on paper the best up there with SGR. And they can definitely flex this skill. LeBlanca put into this role of being a bit of a initiator and enabler for the team. Not going to be able to land too much poke in lane with Thresh as a partner and into someone who can heal off that poke like Seraphine. So mostly going to be relying on that Enchanted Crystal Arrow across the map. Combined with lockdown with Camille, lockdown with Viego, lockdown with Thresh, and lockdown with Ari, going to be able to get those initial picks, and that's how they want to start the reset, given the champions that do not die. And speaking of champions that do not die, the zombie himself, Sion.
The zombie himself, Sion. That is a beefy little man in the front line. I was going to say that the Rice Farmers were a little bit more explosive just with the champions that they decided to pick. However, if you compare these two comps, very similar. They have one person who's going to probably be remaining in that front with the kind of tanky stats and the Thresh and the Sion. However, you've got a bunch of divers who are going to be looking to get onto those carries, get onto the squishies, and just absolutely burst them down as quickly as possible. So it's going to be really interesting to see which one wins those trades. Is it going to be the Echo or the Camille when those major team fights start happening?
Yeah, and looking at the range of these two compositions, something I think is really interesting is that Rice Farmers comp has the advantage in terms of range, in terms of picking the fight. Camille E, Hextech Ultimatum, Enchanted Crystal Arrow are all great ways to start a fight from extended range. Even the Spirit Rush is a way to get it done. But RSL, they have extended range when they actually get into the fights with the Kindred, with the Jinx. Seraphine in that backline might be able to kite out the opposing engagers if they don't get clean engages. So we're going to have to see how Rice Farmers get that done as we get into this one.
It will be kind of interesting. I do expect some early game aggression to be coming out from Rice Farmers. They do have the stronger early comp, with that damage from that Camille being able to get those double empowered Qs off. It's going to be really interesting, though, just overall. I think we're going to see Viego and Kindred trying to match each other in these jungles. I expect to see some vertical jungling actually happen, like some horizontal jungling, sorry, just because of the nature of Kindred trying to invade constantly. Viego's going to know exactly where they need to end up, exactly what target camps to target. So that's going to end up being very, very important for RSL to make sure they're following up with their jungler and keeping them safe.
Something else I'm interested in, and I don't think this is a spectator bug, but there's no items on the Kindred and no items on the Echo, so if that... There we go. Okay, spectator bug, my bad. Yep, they both have items. I was really worried there. Awkward. Yeah, I was worried Atlas wasn't going to hit level 2 off of that buff and just sit there and missing things get thrown around, but no, everything's okay. So far, we are going to see perpendicular jungling, as I like to call it. We're going to have Cool Guy Tony on the Viego starting on the bottom side. Meanwhile, Kindred starting on the top side, which is really nice in order to potentially start with a mark. And, oh, wow, Vest getting some nice aggression really early on to weak side veteran. Just getting in that bush, dropping Sion to half health, making Sion potentially burn those potions a little early. Very, very good play from Vest to start this one out.
Well, unless it's another spectator bug, it looks like Sion doesn't have to worry about it quite yet. They're probably going to need to. There it goes. First Corrupting Pot is going to be popped right there. Both of these champions are running Grasp in the top lane, so it's going to be about getting those trades, getting that healing back. So it'll be really interesting to see who ends up winning those out in the end. Meantime, in this bot lane, we already see some really good pressure coming out from the side of Ragnarok as they're shoving in this lane. It is going to make them really gankable once Viego decides to come back down, but because of the nature of the perpendicular jungling, like you mentioned, they don't really have to worry about it with Kindred being on their side at this point.
Right, and with Kindred around that bot side and bot being shoved out, Kindred should be safe to farm up. Did go for an initial aggressive 3-camp path, but the one going for the 3-camp path is Viego, who's arrived in the top side.
Already see some major damage coming out from the side of Rice, and they just absolutely decimate weak side veteran. Vest is going to get a really nice early lead right here, get a nice big push, and that should allow them in order to be able to get some nice plates on here. Nope, the TP coming out right away.
No, that is the power of the Scion. Your zombie doesn't stop the death timer, but speaking of
the
death
bot lane,
timers...
you got Ash coming in with some crystal arrows. Nice shots. Flash going to come out, and that's going to be first blood, or second blood, over to the side of Rice. They get a second kill. The cleanse is going to come out as well, but look at this. Kindred's already on the bot side, coming onto LeBlanca, getting some damage out. That is going to be a double kill as we have evened up the scoreboard.
Yeah, Atlas starting out 2-0 on Kindred. This is the player, this is the champion that Ragnarok is looking to pick them up out of this 0-3 start. Atlas is a very proficient Kindred player, and from what I have seen, one of the best players on Ragnarok Esports, and maybe one of the best junglers in this tournament. So to see them get this lead on their champion, I hope we get a treat of what Atlas can do.
Yep, unfortunately, it was not the target with the hunt, so that means they're not going to get that. Look at this Vest already getting a lot of early damage once again on a weak side veteran. Weak side is just having to take the punishment. Vest, though, fighting in this minion wave is just getting pummeled and having their health peppered. And look at this, cool guy Tony already returned. The dash is going to get stopped, but it's not going to matter as we see Scion just get absolutely wrecked once again. The weak side veteran is certainly starting off this lane very weak.
Yeah, and the weak side veteran may want to invest in some vision coverage. It's pretty clear that Viego is going to come top time and time again. So to see that 0 in the vision score and the 2 wards in the inventory is a bit disappointing, but we'll have to see if weak side veteran can pull it together in that top side. Currently bleeding out quite a bit, but that still barely evens up the gold at the end of the day as their CS leads accumulating in bot lane. And a little bit of CS lead accumulating in the jungle, and the CS lead in top lane really hasn't exploded that much because of Scion's ability to get the minions. Anyway, Atlas!
Look at this, Atlas jumping in right on top of this. Kaizo getting pretty damaged up. Unfortunately, they're going to be able to get out. Atlas, though, is going to get knocked by that tower shot. Viego is going to be the one who completes the hunt before Kindred, so the Death God kills the other Death God.
Yep, and cool guy Tony wants more, trying to find more damage onto Cinetrix, but not quite getting too much damage out. Keen continuing to aggress and deny Cinetrix the EXP and the gold from these minions, but Atlas going down there certainly puts a damper on Ragnarok Esports' tempo. They're going to need to get this Kindred back on the map and fast.
Yep, nice beefy knockup coming up from weak side veteran right there. Good fully charged Q. And again, just we were talking about ganking top lane time again. We already see Viego ready to do it at any point, just hanging out by this Grump right now.
Yeah, and Atlas is doing the right thing here, looking for opportunities in the bot side. I'd like to see if Atlas can't find this opportunity, maybe try and find Viego's jungle camp so they can identify that he's on the top side of the map. They will be able to quite soon by Kindred's Mark vanishing just now. They now know that Grump has been taken. So Atlas now does have some information about where Viego could be, and we're going to have to see where they take this opportunity. Getting some vision on the dragon is pretty nice, but not going to be able to find too much more as Kaiser's ready to rotate over.
Both teams are wanting to take this Drake as quickly as possible.
Whoa.
And Atlas, unfortunately, jumping over the wall right into the opposing team. That's going to be 4 members jumping right on top of him. Kindred going down almost instantaneously.
Yeah, Atlas just getting a little too aggressive there and not quite patient enough wait to get over to the wall before they try and bounce over the wall again. And as a result, early lead firmly in the hands of the Rice Farmers. 1k gold and an Ocean Drake in their pocket, 6 minutes, 45 seconds.
I'm going to chalk that up to just pure unluckiness. Like, that was just, you do those jumps sometimes, and it's just, you have that flash of moment in your eyes, you're just like, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, trying to get back over the wall, thought they could pick a fight in the bot lane, didn't respect that Kaiso was already rotating, that cool guy Tony was in the area, and as a result, blown up. And now Atlas, who was off to a hot 2-0 start, is now 2-2 on the Kindred. Maybe has to reevaluate how they're going to approach this game.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunately, like, I don't want to say that it's getting out of hand for Ragnarok, but it is definitely the momentum has been lost on their side. They're going to have to be looking for these objectives around this Rift Herald. That is going to be the next target that they want to go for. Unfortunately, Viego is ready to match that. We do, like, cool guy Tony, he seems to be on the same page as Kindred, and it's going to be really, really tricky for Kaiser or for Kindred to really be able to do much.
Absolutely. And as we sort of start to get... Oh, we're going to see cool guy Tony looking for Cinetrix in the mid lane.
He's trying to get a nice engage onto this Echo, does manage to hit, and is going to get stunned for his trouble. The ultimate's going to come out, though, as we do see Centrix able to get the reset, but the reset is not enough. A huge reset coming out from Cool Guy Tony as he jumps onto Atlas, using the Echo stun to take out Atlas.
And unfortunately, Atlas had moved his mark away from Cool Guy Tony over to LeBlanc in the bot lane, so still, I believe, 0 stacks for this Kindred. It is unfortunate, but a nice return kill, a nice shutdown over to the side of Atlas is going to get their ball rolling again, as we've seen that this game so far has really been a duel of junglers.
It really has, and we have been seeing Cool Guy Tony just take over this game and just have absolute pure dominance. I did like the response from Atlas over there, though. He did manage to pick up a kill, so that's going to be really good ego boost, I think. He is 3-2, and it is a 2-1-3 Viego, so technically ahead, but we are going to be seeing that as this game progresses. If they're not able to get those hunt stacks, it's just not going to end up resulting in a win for them.
Yeah, one of the things of Kindred is mitigating the fact that it's really hard to get those hunt stacks, and a lot of it is not quite random, but more opportunistic, where you can't really invade the enemy jungle unless certain things go right, and so far those things haven't gone right. But you have to be opportunistic with what you get, and Atlas looking for an opportunity to appear in this bot lane. Meanwhile, Cinetrix also on the way for the flank. They're going to look for this lane gank. Atlas is going to be found just now, and it might be too late.
It might be too late, you would say that, but at the same time, Echo is already here, looking for LeBlanc, throwing back the shield in order to try and make sure that they can't escape, but unfortunately, Kaizo has already come down to here, as well as Kindred hiding under the turret. The ultimate goes up, but it's not going to be enough. They hang out under turret for just a little bit too long, and the last tower shot takes them out. Kaizo getting exceptionally low. Jinx trying to pepper the shots, not quite able to get the kill up, though, and Cool Guy Tony manages to finish them off. And that is going to be absolutely massive, as that was a 2-kill loss for Ragnarok, and Rice just manages to get out of there without losing a single target, and the fight is continuing. Centrix getting chased around, Viego jumping onto the backline, just managing to pepper him once again. We see Kaizo trying to cut him off with the charm. Does actually manage to miss, but the electrocute proc and the continued pressure from this Undead King just manages to finally finish him off.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy dive there. Cinetrix not focusing the same target as the rest of the team is going to mean that they're not able to get that initial kill onto Copper. And the Lamb's Respite out from Atlas, trying to keep them alive, ends up keeping Copper alive as well. They don't quite get the damage onto LeBlanca, and it all goes awry. And then Cinetrix taking a very aggressive rotation back over to midside, just gets punished for it. And really, Ragnarok are playing against an opponent that is really going to punish these kinds of mistakes, and they really need to patch up the gameplay.
I was going to say, I love this bait, but unfortunately it looks like Atlas decided to back off on the gank when instead, with almost a good opportunity to dive onto this Vest. I don't know if that was a miscommunication or they decided to back off at the last second.
Yeah, and Vest has also set themselves up a freeze, so if Camille can get back on the top lane before Sion can break that freeze, a lot of CS could go Camille's way very, very quickly, and Atlas might need to come back top lane in order to break that. Meanwhile, Cinetrix might be in trouble.
Cinetrix is definitely going to be in trouble as we see them getting chased down this river. In the meantime, we've got a fight going on in the bot lane. Cool Guy Tony jumping right on top of Perpetual Dusk and Evan with an eye, but Evan is going to go down pretty darn quickly. LeBlanca just trying to get these last couple of shots onto Perpetual Dusk, and does actually cause the sun to set on his parade, and that means he's going to go down, giving yet another kill, and Cinetrix once again getting absolutely pummeled by this Ahri as she just sucks the soul right out of him. Hextech Ultimatum in the top lane also means that Sion's going to be in the middle of a fight, while Atlas is getting absolutely stomped by Cool Guy Tony in the bot lane in that jungle, just not able to farm at all safely. And that is an absolutely massive amount of trades across this map, and we can see that they're still continuing as Vez just continues to shred through weak side veteran, just absolutely monstrous with those bladed thighs. There's just absolutely no stopping this Camille.
Yeah, we're starting to see Rice Farmers absolutely take over this game, and the RSL have really struggled to stop the bleeding that's going on right now. The gold lead has ballooned to about 6,000 in just 12 minutes, and that kind of pace is nearly insurmountable. Kaiso's Ahri gotten off to quite a solid snowball, a considerable item advantage over their lane opponent.
That charm was just rude, I just want to say.
Yeah, well, there's no politeness when it comes to dueling on the Rift, especially between two teams that have really high skill.
But that charm, come on, Kaizo, give him a chance.
There is no second chances to be had, even though Cinetrix can rewind time, and Atlas might find themselves in trouble.
Don't you do it, Atlas. No, the charm yet again is just... Come on, there's just nothing that they can do. You just walk around, and all of a sudden the heart causes you to see stars.
Yeah, I think the side of RSL really need to try and slow this game down. You just need to collect waves for a while. You're so far behind. But
you say slow it down, but look at this. Already weak side veteran getting jumped on, immediately getting back to lane, and getting absolutely destroyed. You hate to see it. I'm not sure what Ragnarok is going to be able to do here. They've got to put their power in this Jinx. They've got to allow Jinx. She's been able to free farm for this whole time, giving themselves a nice CS lead, but it doesn't matter when you compare it to Ash's kill lead.
Exactly, and there's so much more gold on the side of rice farmers that all you can do for now is just collect the gold that you can. Stop making mistakes. Don't let your mistakes get punished by the enemy. Collect gold until you can hit a point where one of your big game-breaking plays can be big.
They overstayed their welcome, and unfortunately that's going to be a burned-away Jinx. The cat hero not able to save. The charm onto the Seraphine is more powerful than her persona, and Kaizo is just showing why Ahri is the true pop star of this game.
Yeah, Kaizo's Ahri has been dominating throughout the tournament, and I think Kaizo is maybe a little tired of playing the champion, but hard to argue with it when you're getting so many wins.
There might be some contract backroom deals that are not going very well between Seraphine and Ahri right now.
Yeah, just Kaizo is so dominant on this Ahri, and Atlas, I don't know if you can be there. If Kaizo, nope, not quite going to land that charm.
If you're able to somersault over the charm, I think they're okay.
It's not been so much so far, but
not quite. They were able to get out of the way there. Vess, in the meantime, that Hydra is just doing... The Tiamat is doing so much work for them clearing this wave, and basically weak side veteran has been shoving this wave into Camille almost the entire game, which has just not been going their way. Atlas, in the meantime, trying to catch out Kaizo, does actually manage to get it, but the charm, once again, is going to just prove too powerful, and already the Ahri is just too far ahead and does too much damage in order to actually get taken down quickly enough, and that is going to be the bot side tower falling, and that is yet another double kill going over to the side of blue team.
Yeah, and they just don't have any vision set up. They have no idea where Cool Guy Tony is, so they go for a scrappy desperation play, which I like in concept, but unfortunately it goes right because Cool Guy Tony always in the right place at the right time this game. And
quick Crystal Arrow, Echo getting caught out. He's going to have to try and backtrack, but isn't quite able to get away. He's going to get pulled into this as Thresh manages to get a nice hook and pull him into the wall, and that is going to be a dead time, boy, as we see Viego once again getting another kill. Vess, in the meantime, fighting this under the tower, going straight for that tower dive because they just know they're strong enough to destroy this Scion, and there's nothing that the tower can provide any defense for. I mean, just watch. We're gonna see they're gonna dive in on this here in just a second. We see Atlas coming for the assist, but in the meantime, Vester's like, you know what? Fine, yeah, come fight me. It's okay. I got the Hextech ultimatum. I'm gonna get knocked out. That is cool with me. I'm gonna get away and then just go around the corner.
That being said, they do get the Hextech ultimatum for no summoner spells or ults of their own. They are going to lose that mid tower, but it's something that they're really going to lose anyway with the pace of this game. So you got to take the little victories when you're this far in the hole, and that is one that they can abuse for about the next 45 seconds if Atlas can find another opportunity in this top side, but Evan with an eyes deleted.
Don't even have time to really say very much right there as Kaizo once again charm Seraphine, makes him go, okay, yeah, I want to go this way into the bush where my death is waiting for me. And again, picking themselves up another kill. They're now 8-0 with the 700 gold bounty, jumping right on Perpetual Dust, getting a nice bit of damage, but that healing is going to keep them alive. And it's funny because a lot of these plays, Copper hasn't really been present for.
No, even though the Thresh can make plays around the map, really isn't needed. Doesn't quite have the same mobility as the Viego, the Camille, the Ahri, and not quite the cross-map presence of the Ashe. So it makes sense that with the way this game is going, falling a little far behind in KP, Vessa scouted out Atlas in this bush.
They are aware they're hanging out right there, and Atlas knows that they've been seeing Vessa in the meantime just hanging out. does pop the Bumblebee. Echo almost able to get away. Not quite. That hitbox just manages to get him. And the stun in CC is just too darn much. And that's going to be LeBlanc up going on a rampage. And we see the Rift Herald dropped in this mid lane. That's going to be at least 2 towers, if not the inhibitor going down as well. And that is unfortunately not a lot that Ragnarok is able to do, as we see that the end times have come. And we do see Atlas trying to come in and assist their weak side veteran. But unfortunately, this is going to require a tower dive. The shots are coming out, but Atlas just doesn't quite have the damage. Is finally able to pick up the kill, but it's going to result in the shutdown going over to Kindred. They are able to get it, but at the same time, this base, is it really worth it? We see this second Nexus turret is about to go down, and that is going to leave the Nexus exposed. We finally see a turret in the top lane go down, and that is going to be game, as Rice is just able to easily end this, smack on the Nexus while Sion and Kindred are in the top lane.
Well, that was certainly a game of League of Legends we just watched, and, well, congratulations to Rice Farmers for absolutely obliterating their opponent, moving on to 4-0 so far in this tournament. Have pretty much locked themselves up that top-seeded playoff game, that first versus second round sort of finals match. At 4-0, really only some kind of weird tiebreaker could mess them up, but that being said, it could possibly happen, but Rice Farmers are in a very dominant spot in this tournament.
They are in a very powerful spot. And as we go into the next set of games today, Rice is going to play 2 games tomorrow, so we'll have to see if SGR or Goof are able to take them down. So it's going to be a major question of who is going to be able to take down the Rice Farmers, essentially, is kind of like the name of the Mythic League at this moment in time. I am looking forward to seeing RSL versus Goof later today, see if they can break their loss streak, because we can see that they are one heck of a scrappy team. The next game coming up, though, is going to be Goofy Goobers versus Sick Game Riot, so that's going to be an interesting matchup, I think, coming up.
Absolutely, and to hear from a victorious member of the Rice Farmers, we're going to cut to a break and then an interview. We will be right back.
There we go. Sorry, folks. Forgot to unmute it. Sorry, Chris. You said it yesterday, and I forgot. I'm unmuted now. We're here. Joined with our winners interview today for our first Mythic match of the day. I'm joined by LeBlanca of bot lane. How was it? How you feeling after that win? First, let's start there.
Honestly, it was like super easy. I think like we were all like sleeping the entire time. So
yeah, that was a clapping for sure. Let's set the table here. Talk about the draft. Interesting picks from you folks. With the Camille. And then you had the Viego, which matched up against this Kindred. I want to talk about that in a second. But then we had the Ahri Ashe Thresh coming out from your side. What were your folks' thoughts coming into this match, and sort of what were you thinking as you saw the draft shape up and what you're up against?
I mean, yeah. So kind of knew every player on our team basically is better than the enemy team. So it doesn't even matter what we draft. So we're gonna win anyway. But on top of that, it was just the coach stuff. You know, our draft is infinitely better. So they never really stood a chance.
And Kaiso, probably just turbo chilling. You guys get the B1 Ashe, probably just feeling like it's GG already. So
yeah,
let's. I do have you here on the desk, but it feels like it was our MVP vote here out of the chat. It's a cool guy Tony Angle. And as I was saying to you in the break, it wasn't quite a jungle diff. I wouldn't be so demure as to say that. It was a jungle canyon in this game. Viego was 1v9ing this entire game. I felt like he came early and just got the double kill in your lane. I think it went on to you, right? If I'm remembering correctly.
Which one?
The very first double kill of the game. Did the kills end up on you or did they end up on him? Either way, he came down. There was a skirmish. He's just like, all right, let me just clean this up real quick. You guys had the 2 kills to even it up early on, and then I felt from there like you and Copper just really had it on cruise control after that. He came by a couple more times. There was a little bit more scrapping, but I felt like that early put you guys in the exact position to be like, all right, this game's won.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm done. Yeah, just talk to me a little bit about this mid game and sort of just how things just became undeniable.
Yeah, I mean, everyone was just like, I don't even remember. I felt like we were winning the entire game. So,
you guys were.
At what point were we actually losing? Pretty much like.
There was a moment, I think, like literally one moment where they were 1-0, right? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wait.
People in the chat will know, and I will get corrected. So, but. Overall, it was a big game for you folks. We have to see if RSL can bounce back because they do have another match later today. But you folks have the big match day tomorrow, your double day to round things out. Is there really anything lurking over the horizon that you're scared of at this point?
Not really. Easy 2-0, I think. It's literally we just team gap, coach gap, so should be an easy win.
Team gap, coach gap, easy clap. You heard it here first, folks. LeBlanca, thank you so much for joining us for this interview. Before we step away, though, your opportunity, any final thoughts, any shout-outs, any banter to leave with us?
Yeah, I don't know. We're just kind of just better than everyone else at the tournament, so I think we'll win it all easily, so.
All right, folks. Well, we'll have to see if the Rice Farmers can continue to farm these wins here in Friend or Foe Mythic, but we do have 2 more matches coming up. After a short break, we'll be back with Game 2, so don't go too far.